It is the Frank and Friends show. Hi there, I'm Frank Murphy.
I'm Zee Carnes.
Zee Carnes, one of my friends. In fact, you have radically brought down the average age of this program, so I thank you for that. Eden, it seems like, I don't know how this is possible, but you're barely 18, and I feel like I've known you.
I'm not actually 18 yet, yeah.
Well, barely. You're, I don't know. But how, it seems like I've known you for a while.
At least 4 years. Okay.
So we'll explain why you're here and how, some people have stage moms who are very, very proud. But we need to explain why the cast of Cats is behind us. And this is from the Primary Players Children's Theater Group, who will be performing Cats 6 months from now. So really, we're giving you plenty of heads up. Eden, explain who's back here. Gianna is over here, right?
Yes, and Gianna's playing Esmeralda.
And Tristan is in the middle.
He's playing Munkustrap.
And your sister Zee is right here.
Yes, she's playing Admetus.
And then Eoin is over my shoulder. You look good, Eoin. Who's he?
Bill Bailey.
Okay, so these are characters in the show.
Yes.
Okay, now, Bill Bailey, that's like a regular name.
Exactly. I know some of them have regular names, some of them have cat names, because once you get into the musical, you realize that the naming of cats is a difficult matter, and it isn't just one of your holiday games. But cats have 3 different names. One of the names is the name that the family gives.
Okay, Bill Bailey.
Yes, exactly. The other is the name that the cats know each other by.
Which would be...
Munkustrap.
Who?
Munkustrap. Tristan.
Munkustrap.
Yes.
I'm trying to learn these names, and you're going by so fast. Munkustrap?
Yes.
Okay.
There are others too.
Okay, now Andrew Lloyd Webber didn't make all this up. This is from a famous poem.
T.S. Eliot's Old Possum's Poetry for Cats.
Okay, all right. So what's amazing though is that the young actors. You guys are all what? What's the age range back here? How old are you, Gianna?
I'm 9.
She's 9.
11.
11.
13.
13. 15? Okay, so I've seen other shows done by Primary Players. You do a great job. I saw, was it Wizard of Oz, maybe?
Yes, probably.
And, but you're doing Cats, which seems like a stretch. It seems like hard.
Yes, that's what everybody thought when it was announced in January. Like, why Cats? That one's a crazy difficult one, but we have a lot of talent, and I think that we'll be able to pull it off.
And you, Eden, my friend, are a huge part of that because you've got your cosmetology license, degree,
yes. License.
Expertise.
Yes.
License. Okay. And you're still not even, when's your birthday? You're going to be 18 eventually, right?
It's at the end of September.
Okay, so
yeah,
all right.
A few months from now. So.
This is all mind-boggling to me. You know that, right? All right. So I didn't even put on my bronzer. You can see I'm glistening today because your mom said actually, that, hey, Eden's going to bring the kids from the show and they'll already be in the makeup. You did this to them?
I did Zee and I did Tristan, but then Eoin and Gianna's moms did them.
Okay,
yes.
Because part of what you're doing here with Primary Players is you're going off to school.
Yes.
And they're going to have to learn how to do all of this. So you made these wigs, you designed this makeup, and the director's like, well, that makes my life easier.
Yes, probably. I wasn't sure what they were going to do when they first announced it because Cats is so iconic for its costumes and wigs and makeup, and Primary Players has never done a show where every single kid needs to be in full makeup and a wig and a costume and everything.
Wow. Even Wizard of Oz, I guess, because some the village girls, they just wear no makeup, just regular stage makeup, right? Not a disguise, not a character makeup. Mm-hmm. So how did you then talk to John Cherry, who's the very great director, and he's actually doing Hello Dolly, or just did, I guess, this past weekend, Hello Dolly at the Bijou Theater. And he's doing your show, as he does most of them.
Yes.
How did that conversation go when you said, I can make wigs?
Well, it actually is kind of funny. I started out when they first announced it, I was still in beauty school, and so I
You didn't drop out?
No.
Musical theater reference.
Yes.
That's from Grease, everybody. Grease is a show. It's the word. Go ahead.
I actually brought Zee in and experimented with the makeup because I thought, oh, this is interesting. Let's try this.
Zee, I have a question. Can you pop up here for a second? I sense that when your sister says she experimented on you, that this might be a long-standing tradition in your family, that it's not just hair and makeup. She could have done any number of things to you over the course of your life.
Mainly hair and makeup.
Mainly hair and makeup, okay. All right, I've got grandsons, and when they experiment, they're like, there's Diet Coke and Mentos involved, and maybe some kind of projectile. Okay, all right, so I was just checking, make sure everything's okay back there. All right, so you experimented on Zee doing cat makeup.
Yes, and then I thought, well, I don't think making a wig would be too hard, and so I spent
Making wigs is excruciatingly difficult, as from what I understand.
Well, that's kind of what I figured out, because
Okay.
I would sit in class and do research on how the Broadway productions made their wigs, and every single individual hair was hand-tied on there, and it was incredibly time-consuming.
And where are you going to find all the yaks? Because they use yak hair.
Yak hair, exactly. So it was.
That is a sound that cats make when they have some kind of stomach noise. They yak hair. What?
Yes.
I've taken care of a cat next door once in a while, and I've seen the yak hair.
Yes, exactly. But it just was. It was too much time, too expensive, just not feasible.
Right, not for the children's group.
Exactly.
I mean, that would be
Exactly.
literally the Broadway show with millions of dollars in the budget. So
Right.
what did you? But these wigs look fine. I wouldn't know they're not yak hair if you didn't tell me. What are they?
They're actually synthetic hair.
Okay.
And I devised a different way of doing it that wasn't going to be as excruciating as tying every single hair
Did you
on
patent
a
the
hand.
process? It sounds like you're onto something.
I should do that. That's a good idea.
No, I'm not kidding.
But they still took about 5 hours each.
Oh, wow.
So that's down from like 40 hours each.
Yeah.
So that's a lot better.
But there's not just 4 kids in the cast. It's 30.
6.
My goodness.
Yes. Originally, it was going to be just, 24 to 30 because there are 24 parts in the kids' version. And so we like to always cast a little bit extra.
Yeah.
And then it's 36, which that adds up a little bit, but
it's a very large stage there at
Yes,
the Clayton
exactly.
Center. You do it at the Clayton Center for the Performing Arts
Yes.
on Maryville College campus, right?
Yes.
So you got enough room on the stage, but also, I mean, in this day and age, my friend Catherine Frady, who's often here as co-host, is off in Carolina directing operas with fully grown adults, and apparently she's got to get extra covers for the role because somebody gets sick and they got to fly in poor old Wade Odell from Iowa, wherever he's got to learn the role of Don Juan in like no time, or whatever it is, and Carmen, the guy, So that's what happens. So having 36, that gives you a little buffer in case, somebody gets a runny nose or breaks a leg or something.
especially in this day and age. Yeah.
Oh, if one of the cats breaks their leg, what happens to them? Do they have to put them down? I hope not.
Yeah, I'd hope
No,
not.
okay,
but-
we've got good vets. Okay. I'm kidding, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if they do, though.
I'm kidding. That was a joke. No one's putting you down. Maybe verbally, but certainly not any other way. Let's explain. Actually, what we're going to have to do is maybe we'll rotate in one at a time. So Zee, we'll start with you because we already talked to you. Everybody else just pop out for a sec, and we'll just talk one at a time to each of you. Zee, if you can just hop in a little as close as you uncomfortably can. How old are you? You said before.
13.
13. And you've been doing theater for a while.
Yes.
Since?
Well, I've done primary player since I was 8,
Yeah.
and other theater pretty much my whole life.
What's an example of something besides primary players? I mean, there's other children's theaters. There's
Yes.
school theaters, the school
I
shows.
did school shows at my home school.
Oh, excellent, excellent. That's another way I think I know you all is from the Cedar Springs homeschool, right?
Yes.
Okay. So some of your other roles more recently, I mean, your mom posts everything on Facebook. I'm just trying to remember that of all the shows that you've been in.
Well, since COVID, I haven't done much theater.
Yeah, I read before that though. What'd you
Well,
do?
before COVID, my last role was Mad Hatter in Alice in Wonderland.
Nice. All right. Well, good. All right. So Zee is Eden's sister, and let's bring in we'll have you pop out and bring Eoin over here because you're right here, so you can go that way. Well, all right, go or not.
Cats don't listen to instructions.
Of course not. All right, Eoin, pop up a little bit. So tell us your theater background, or was this the first time for you or what?
Well, in
Listen to the projection on the voice. Good job.
well, in primary players, this is my first time. And,
Good. Congratulations.
Brooks Babbitt, who was in Matilda,
Kind of introduce you to all this.
Yeah.
Good.
and so I joined, and sadly he didn't make it.
You got. Oh wow! You auditioned and made that, and he didn't.
Yeah.
That's a total burn.
But the
I'm kidding.
But those the times that I've actually been in plays were when I was in Mount Olive in Knoxville, when I was in those young.
Well, I mean, like I was in the Nutcracker for years with the Oak Ridge Civic Ballet, not because I'm any good, but because they needed somebody my age and who could fall down. But they start them really young. The kids there are probably, I don't know, 3?
Yeah.
4?
They're really
Yeah, so that's cool that you can get a chance to do that. All right, Eoin, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You go that way, because that way Tristan can pop in and tell us real quick. Now, did they tell you it was football or that they were going to be playing, or they explained to you what the whole thing is, right? Okay, all right. As loud as you can, tell us about your theater background.
All right, so I started theater when I was in 6th grade. So it's not, I've only done it for like 5 years.
That's a lot, though, for someone your age, I mean, there are professionals who are just still newer than that. And what's some of your other past roles?
Well, actually, I'm in Les Mis right now, and I'm playing...
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I'm playing Enjolras, so...
So you like singing?
Yes, I do.
Who's doing Les Mis?
BCA, Broadway Center for the Arts.
And that's in North Knox?
That's in Maryville.
Oh, Maryville. Oh, that Broadway. Every town, I was trying to explain to my grandson when he was here that every city has a Broadway, so it's not the same one. So I didn't know they had that in Maryville. When's the shows?
It's next week, actually.
What the dates, the actual dates?
29th and 30th.
Okay, because this podcast will come out before that, so you can look that up if you want. Les Mis with Broadway Center for the Arts in Maryville. All right, thank you, Tristan. And let's bring Gianna over here so she can tell us about her acting experience, and then Eden's going to start slathering. What else? Gianna, hi. Tell us about your experience. First time with primary or no?
Well, this is my first time with primary. I've been doing theater for about 4 years.
Everyone noticed the eye contact on this one. Good job. What else have you been in?
I auditioned for Sound of Music
a
couple days ago.
Oh, so you don't know yet?
No, I don't know yet.
All right. Break a leg.
Thank you.
All right. You could be like, who's the one, not Liesel, who's the little one that everyone loves?
Well, since I'm like the shortest one in the whole theater, I think I'm going to get like Marta or Gretel.
Gretel, that's who I was trying to think of. Yeah, those are good characters.
He's 5, so...
Well, you don't know.
Yes.
I mean, that's the trick to theater is they always get kids who are small for their age who can play younger. That happens all the time.
Yes.
All right. Well, Gianna, thank you very much. You said you were 9, right?
Yes.
Well, you fooled me. All right, 9 like 9 lives. Okay. So we've met everybody. You're going to even be in town for the show or no?
I technically will not be, but I will be coming back to see it because I've invested way too many hours to make it.
Yeah. I mean, you're a huge part of this whole production. Now, you're going to start putting some of this cat makeup on me because apparently I agreed to it. And but I also would like to explain, I mean, like I said, you're not yet 18, yet we've known each other at least 4 years because of our paths crossing multiple times. Do you remember any of them?
Yes.
What were they?
I remember the first time I met you was at a improv day at Creative Theater.
Yes. That was a great thing.
Yes.
Okay, so Creative Theater was this space in Pigeon Forge. Sadly, it's got sold and is closed now. But the guy who runs Creative Theater contacts me and says, there's this lady from Spain. Now imagine I'm trying to explain, this is the kind of normal for me, is to get these otherwise insane messages. Hey, there's a lady from Spain who's going to be in town and she's teaching an improv class. We thought you'd be interested. So I said, sure, of course I'm interested. Turns out her mother, the Spanish improviser lady, she's really from Tennessee. Her mother teaches at one of the fancy schools in Gatlinburg, the artsy schools maybe. I want to say, I'm thinking of Aramont, but I don't want to say it because I don't know for fact that's where she teaches, but it's something along those lines. So anyway, this woman, the improviser, comes in, and I show up to take the class, and it's all kids. It's all...
Wait, you were coming to take the class?
They didn't tell me.
I thought you were an assistant. I thought you were a helper person.
Well, it turns out that I was. So I show up, and they explain to the lady teaching the class that, hey, this guy has been doing improv, I started doing improv in the late 90s, probably like 99, 2000 maybe, okay? So it's been a while. And so she's like, oh, thank goodness, because the class is huge. It's bigger than she's expected. So she was able basically to and put me at one end and she was at the other end. And when we took you through all those exercises, we were able to demonstrate, we were able to, and I spoke her same language, not Spanish, she was from Tennessee. I spoke her same improv language and I understood what she was talking about. And I ended up being a helper. But no, I went there with the thinking I was taking the class from some brilliant Spanish improviser, and she was really good. She was smart.
Oh, yeah.
I thought she was terrific. But that's why I showed up.
That's hilarious. I did not know that.
But what do you do in an improv situation when you walk in and they're like, oh, by the way, you're teaching class, what do you say? Yes,
yes,
and you're off to the races. Okay, so then I recall an instance where I'm in the Nutcracker with the Oak Ridge Civic Ballet, and no offense to you or any other beautiful ballerinas, but by design, your hair and makeup is supposed to all look identical. It's like the Robert Palmer videos where everyone's doing, Addicted to Love, and everyone's supposed to have the hair slicked back and the same face. And you walk up to me and say, it's great to see you again. And I'm like, thank you. I've been doing this ballet for multiple years, and I'm looking like, well, she looks sort of like all the other kids, but I don't. I do not recognize her from this ballet. I'm going through my mental Rolodex of all the dozens of ballerinas who would likely walk up to me and say, hello, Mr. Frank, it's nice to see you again. And I'm coming up goose egg. And then you have to explain to me like, oh, no, I'm new to this ballet. You met me at the improv workshop.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, okay, so that makes sense. But that wasn't enough. Then, next thing you know, where did I see you after that? Was it
was at the Scholars Bowl.
Yeah, the show. I love hosting Scholars Bowl. I'm one of my absolute passion projects. And I'm reading through that. I'm trying to announce, and now the alternates for Cedar Springs Homeschool, Eden Carnes. Wait, what? I didn't think I've met an Eden Carnes twice before, and it was you.
Yep, it was me.
Did you enjoy Scholars Bowl?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah? What did you take away from it?
I've always liked quiz bowl types of games, but they stressed me out a little bit, so I decided to go into cathartic wig making.
Or CWM, as we call it in the business. All right. So, and then after that, I mean, obviously then I became acquainted with your parents, and one time you said I think it was your dad was looking for a big Christmas service to attend, and I said, well, come on over to my church. You can see all the bells and smells, we call it, in the Catholic faith when they're doing the incense and ringing the bells, and it's everything, the full experience for midnight mass. And that old show I had in Pigeon Forge, you came on and I interviewed you because you got an award from the United States Congress.
Yes.
What was that award?
It was the Congressional Silver Medal, but I have since gotten the gold.
So that was, well, I guess you better tell everyone because I didn't interview for the gold yet.
Oh, well, it was just the next step in the process. So
what does it mean?
It means that I have done 400 plus hours of community service.
Wow. Fantastic. So that's and you give an inspiration to the others. Do you think any of these other kids will go for those medals that you know?
I hope so.
Yeah?
It's absolutely something you should do.
How can you explain in a nutshell Cedar Springs Homeschool? Because you said it as a homeschooling co-op, but this is the team that won Scholars Bowl 2 years in a row until finally this past season Maryville took them down. But I mean, really smart kids, accomplished students. How would you describe that? I sent my kids to parochial school, so I don't know firsthand what homeschooling is like.
Well, I will tell you, I have not done as much with Cedar Springs Homeschool as I would have liked to. I've done that and BHEA, Blunt Home Education Association, which is it's closer to where I live.
Okay, so there's multiple co-ops where
yes.
parents get together and maybe one of them teaches science and one of them teaches math and so on and so on.
But by the time I was in high school, I was doing most of my stuff at home.
Okay.
Just me, my mom, my dad.
Oh, fantastic.
My grandmother, my aunt.
Nice.
Everybody.
And speaking of schooling, now that you've accomplished homeschooled high school, you've accomplished beauty school and gotten your state license?
Yes.
You're going to go build boats? Do I understand this correctly?
Yes.
What's that?
It is naval architecture and marine engineering. So 4 years of studying how to be an engineer specifically for boats.
Is there any cathartic boat making involved?
Probably once I get up there, I'll
or
find out
CBM
more.
as we call it in the business. Yeah, all right. And that's on Long Island.
Yes.
Well, all right. Have you spent a lot of time because it's closer to theaters?
You're
Right.
the first person who's actually come to that conclusion on your own. You know that, right? Like, everybody's like, why there? I'm like, well, why not there? Like, that's like the theater capital of the world.
Honey, I got a little secret for you. My parents are from the Bronx, and I grew up in Yonkers. All right. My sister lives on Long Island, and so does my Aunt Grace. All right. So I go up there a lot. In fact, right now, as we record this today, my daughter and my grandsons, they're up there visiting and having a nice little time at the beach. So I'm from New York. I actually, it's obvious to me that, you're right there.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
Okay. Fantastic. I missed out. The whole time I lived in New York, I barely went to any tourist attractions or Broadway plays, and I'm thinking, look at what I missed. All right. So I feel like I'm shining under the light. So you're going to fix me up and make me look like what? Like who? Like a character? Like what's the plan here?
Well, I don't know. What would you like to look like?
A dog?
Now.
No, I mean
I'm
I've
not
never
trained in dog makeup. I only do cat. So.
Well, I'm wondering. Now, my next door neighbor asks me to tend for her cat Louie, and I am not a cat person. But
oh, now don't say that.
Well,
don't say that to me on the show.
I'm going to explain that when I go over there, and she says, "Here's how you take care of Louie. You feed him, and he's got a feather on a fishing pole or whatever it's called, and you do this and dangle it, and he plays the game, and all of those things happen. And it turns out now that Louie has taken a shine to me, because apparently I've done a fine job of keeping him alive when my neighbor goes out of town, and keeping him entertained, and whatnot. So when I go to leave, in fact, I can't go wearing shorts. I've got shorts on right now because it's hot in here. I have to find my jeans that I put away for the summer, because as I leave, every time I leave, Louie will come from around the corner, running full speed, and then leap, and he, with the claws out and teeth out, grabs my leg, and bites.
Oh.
So maybe he hates me, or he doesn't want me to leave.
I think he doesn't want you to leave.
Okay, because I did think, I had to wear shorts one time and I was bleeding, so I had to leave quickly. But generally speaking, I try to make sure he's distracted, and I try to sneak out when he's not looking. All right. So that's my experience with cats.
Okay.
Now, so let me tell you a little more while you do the makeup on. You can just get started. So Louie is a beautiful black cat with long hair. I don't know how else to describe him, except that he's very soft and strikingly good-looking as cats go. If you could say that. I mean, he's a handsome cat. As opposed to those orange tabbies that are in the neighborhood. We have some orange cats that just go...
No, don't you say that orange cats aren't attractive.
Okay. I won't say it.
No, that's not fair because I have an orange cat.
No, wait. Is your sister... What color? Zee, come in here. Is Zee an orange cat?
She's not an orange cat. Actually, the
How
designated...
can I say, what color are you?
She has some orange in her, but...
Yeah.
Our designated
Can you turn around
orange
and show us
cat...
the back of your wig? Look at that. Your designated orange. It's beautiful. Sorry, don't mind my touching. It's not your real hair.
Is Skimbleshanks, who is one of the songs that gets sung about an orange cat. Yes.
All right. Skimbleshanks. That was your drinking water, but
know.
it's all right. It's fine. It's in the commemorative Frank and Friends mug, which, by the way, you can buy on our website, frankandfriendshow.com/store. As can you get the fabulous Frank and Friends soft beach towel, and the other T-shirts, the hats, the drinkware, all the things. Okay. So what do I have to do?
You can just sit there.
I'll just sit there. So I enjoy most Andrew Lloyd Webber musicals, with possible exception of two. One will remain unnamed for the purposes of this experiment. The other is the sequel to Phantom of the Opera. Have you seen it?
No, I have not.
Don't. It will. Do you like Phantom of the Opera?
Yes, I love it.
Okay, the sequel is so bad. What is it called? Can anyone maybe Google it? I think it's called Love Never Dies, or Love Drops Dead, or Boy, I Wish I Hadn't Watched This. It's so bad. It's so bad that I almost want to tell you. What is it called?
Love Never Dies.
Love Never Dies. Well, it should. It should have died at the end of Phantom, because what happens is apparently the Phantom has moved to Long Island.
Why?
Exactly, because it's close to Broadway and he can build boats. No, oh wait, no, that's you. No, sorry, that's you. The Phantom, and this is the stupidest thing ever, okay? So Phantom has moved to Coney Island so that he can live in he makes him like a cave or whatever, he makes himself a Phantom house, like under the roller coasters and or not even the roller coasters, like the Tunnel of Love, you know? So it's kind of like the Opera House. He's got the boats and he's got the nonsense. Oh my heavens. Oh geez. All right, maybe I'll scooch back a little bit so that I don't have to turn my body quite as uncomfortably. Is that all right, Zach? Can you do that? Oh, yes. I don't know if I like this at all. So the Phantom has moved to Coney Island.
Okay.
And he still is obsessed with Christine, who is now married to Raoul.
Okay.
And there's a child involved, okay? Christine has a child. So the Phantom pretends to be a booking agent and hires Christine to come to New York from England. Is that where it was? Or France? Wherever she was. Wherever it was before. She was in France? I think, or it doesn't matter. He hires her to come to New York and sing, but it's fake. So she and Raoul get on the boat and they go all the way to New York, and get picked up by what they think is the car service from this, I guess, or horse and buggy, whatever it was, what year it was. But it's actually the Phantom. I mean, not it's his henchman, right? And Madame Giry somehow is involved. She knows all this.
Of course.
Yeah. So she probably helped get Christine there. Well, anyway, so then nonsense occurs during the course of I don't even remember the rest of the garbage. Oh, goodness gracious. But it turns out, I'm with too much of a spoiler, but we find out something about the Christine and the Phantom's previous relationship, and it makes sense why he would want her to move to New York and try to get Raoul out of the picture. And then tragedy ensues, and it's an unhappy ending, and everything's terrible, and it's the worst show ever, and it will just ruin everything about Phantom for you. And if you want me to ruin it, I mean, I can give you all the spoilers.
That's not fair to the listeners.
Yes, it is. I'm saving you from watching a horrible show. So, but that's, anyway, I think, and then Lloyd Webber's done some other things. His Cinderella did not do very well. He had some trouble with that. Are you okay? Are you doing all right with the makeup? I can move myself to a different chair, different position. Okay.
Fine.
What am I being? I mean, what am I?
A cat, in general.
Goodness.
Not all of them are very pretty.
Like my mother used to say, the truth hurts, Frank. All right, carry on, Eden. Eden Carnes is transforming me into a Broadway-ish cat. Much like, and I've already got, a fair amount of the facial hair, so that kind of gives you a head start, right? You don't have to do fake whiskers on me. Well, so something about the show Cats, though. I mean, I remember it. I think I was still in high school when it came out. Does anyone know? It came out like in the late 70s, right? Early 80s? By the time it hit Broadway. Oh, okay. Because I feel like I'd heard of it, and it certainly was a big famous thing. And then, but I never got excited about it. And then there was a movie with Taylor Swift, which I avoided.
No, don't watch that one.
Is it as bad as Love Never Dies?
Probably. Yeah,
okay.
Probably. Probably so.
All right. Well, what's your love of Cats? You know all the songs, you know all the characters, you know everything about it. How did you first see it or hear it?
Well, I'd always known that Cats existed, but I'd never actually seen it until it was announced as the next musical, and then I was like,
the next musical for primary
players. Yes, exactly.
So you had to watch the Taylor Swift movie?
Oh no, I would not do that. I went back and found the original 1998 Broadway movie.
Oh, I didn't know there was a 1998 Broadway movie. Where do you find that?
Amazon.
Huh. I mean, I know that Lloyd Webber is during the pandemic, he started up a free YouTube channel. And every week they put a new musical on there. So I watched, like I said, most of them. That's how I saw Love Never Dies, which was a mistake. Don't watch it. But I watched, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat and Jesus Christ Superstar. And actually that was probably my introduction to, what's his name, ALW, as we say in the business. My parents had the record album of Jesus Christ Superstar, like before it was a show. It was just a record.
Huh.
Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, it was started as a rock opera, and they made an album of it with Yvonne Elliman who's a disco singer, that became a disco singer afterward, as Mary Magdalene and the cast and the people who are on there. That's how it started. They did it as a concept album so that they could get the funding to ultimately stage it.
That's pretty cool.
I know. Am I done? No, I gotta do this side. What are we doing next? I gotta turn.
You can turn a little bit. I was reaching around, so the other side's almost done.
Yeah, we want you to be comfortable. I mean, all of this is happening on camera, so we don't want to make it too weird.
I'm sorry.
Boring.
Sometimes you just can't help but be a little weird.
I mean, again, accuracy. How do I look, Tristan?
You look great.
Good? All right. Now, they said that Tristan can sing the songs from Les Mis and from Cats. Tristan, you want to come in and sing a little bit while I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if the licensing on YouTube will let me, but just have a seat and sing a little bit while Eden can. How much more is there?
Do you want to be done?
I mean, I want you to keep going. I want you to make me look. I mean, I don't know if I can look as good as Peter Criss from Kiss over here, but what else can you do? I mean,
Well,
go ahead, put a little more on there.
okay.
I mean, why not? I mean, at this point, I'm gonna have to, to take a minute to get it all off anyway. You may as well go whole
It
hog.
comes off pretty easy, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, you can ask the
So what are
kids.
you gonna sing?
Old Grumpy Cat.
All right. Well, if you can belt it out so that our mics pick it up,
Yeah,
go ahead
of
and give
course.
it a shot. I don't have any accompaniment.
No, you're good.
All right.
Okay.
All right. You can keep painting while he does.
No.
Oh, excuse me. Ladies and gentlemen, Tristan.
I have a Gumpy cat in mind. Her name is Jenny Any Dots. Her coat is of the tabby kind with tiger stripes and leopard spots. All day she sits beneath the stairs or on the mat or on the step. She sits and sits and sits and sits, and that's what makes a Gumpy cat. That's what makes a Gumpy cat.
Well done.
Thank you.
All right, I see why we stopped. What's funny to me is, I've got this expensive little 4K camera. We've got the whole setup. We've got the lights. I've got the mics. The moms are over there making cell phone video from a terrible angle. Like they're not going to be able to watch it on the show. All right, thank you, Tristan. I appreciate you. All right, so go ahead and make me look a little more like a member of the KISS Army. Do you know what that is?
A little bit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, all right, there's these crazy old 70s rock singers named Kiss, and they would wear clown makeup, in effect. But one of the characters is a cat. I don't remember which one. It might be Peter Criss, because that's the name that came to mind. But there was like a star and a cat, and then the guy with the tongue. That's Gene Simmons, Ace Frehley, Peter Criss, and somebody else. So, and have you ever heard the song I Was Made for Loving You? Because there's currently a dance version of it. It's on the top, in the top 20 on the dance charts. And it's a remake of this old 70s Kiss song. And it sounds very similar. So that's your, ladies and gentlemen, my Kiss ad lib. That's my extemporaneous speech on Kiss. You do extemporaneous speech.
Yes, I do.
Let's give her a topic. No, okay, keep painting. And then and tell me what, and talk us through it. Tell me what you're doing.
Well, it's a little different doing it on you rather than a kid, but
All right, I'll scooch over a little more, make it more comfortable for you.
But in
Yeah.
general, the general thing to keep in mind is that cats need to have big, wide open eyes, and every cat has.
I have tiny little pupils. I have beady little eyes. No? Okay. So we're gonna make big eyes.
Big eyes, and then different markings, which every cat has different markings, as you
Yeah.
saw in the kids, and every single cat has unique makeup that fits their wig and what will eventually become the costume.
Okay.
But the wigs and makeup, since I did them both, they were designed to connect to each other. So
So that's part of it, is you're teaching the kids to make their makeup lines, their face paint lines, consistent with their hair lines like a real cat.
yes,
Oh, okay.
like Eoin is a prime example of
Owen, bring it in. You're a prime example,
that. Yes.
which means that you're, what, 2, 3, 7? Anyone? Anyone?
Yes.
No.
So
9 is not a prime number. I couldn't do that
No.
one. Get it? Oh, you're too young. 9, you don't know 9 prime numbers. Prime numbers can only be divided by itself and by 1.
Wait, yes, I know that. I'm in
Okay,
fifth
so she
grade.
said
Yes,
you were
I
a
know.
prime example. So, all right.
Yeah, I get it. Okay.
So what is Eoin a prime example of?
His hair matches up with his face, so if you'll turn around, you can see that.
Oh, I see.
Yes, you can turn it all the way
Is
around.
orange on one side and
Yep, there we go.
oh, look at that.
Continues all the way around.
And for the show, are you going to paint the back of his neck?
Yes, maybe. I don't know how the costumes will be.
Okay.
They might be higher necked. I don't know yet.
All right. Well, do you have to rent? I mean, do they make the costumes or do they rent the costumes?
You can rent costumes and wigs together for about $15,000.
They do that at Flying Anvil Theater is doing Avenue Q, and if you want to do Avenue Q, you have to rent the actual, or a version of the actual puppets. You can't just make your own Avenue Q puppets.
Huh.
Which I've never seen it, but it's like a spoof of Sesame Street. It's like an R-rated spoof of Sesame Street. So Avenue Q, and they're doing it at Flying Anvil, and apparently the whole budget is going to rent the
Yeah.
puppets.
You were good, thank you.
You're prime. You're absolutely prime. Yeah. Which also usually is odd, but you can say two. There's a little math humor for everybody. So big eyes.
Big eyes.
What about a big
markings.
mouth? I tend to have a big mouth.
Yes, but that's hard.
I've got friends who are dying to see this. I've got my friend Kristen. My friends in the next episode or next week's episodes, we're going to have my friends Kristen and Jeff come in, and I was telling them about this, and like, oh, you must send photos. In fact, they wanted me to shoot selfies during the course of this. I'll just have to. Oh, here we go. So keep going. I'll take a selfie and text it to Kristen because I swore that I would. Go ahead. You just keep carrying on. I've got to do this. This is all right. Listen, Kristen. This is for you. And oh my heavens. Oh. Yeah. Keep painting. I got to send this to. This is going to be. Oh, that's shocking looking. All right. But she came to my comedy show last night. You know, as you discussed, I do improv, right?
Yes.
So I was doing the show last night, and I was telling them about you. And they're like, oh, heavens, you must send pictures to my phone in process. And I'd forgotten until just now. So now here we go. You keep going. That's all right. I can text and do a show at the same time. It's not that hard. I mean, most other people watching are texting at the same time. That's why. Why should I be any different?
I'm not sure what else you want to add.
I can't. I'm not a cat guy. I don't know. Is this it? Are we done?
Well, I mean, then you have a wig, but you don't
Okay.
have one.
All right. No, I don't have. I mean, the wigs that I have are not mine. No, wait. I might have a. One time, I had to do a bit with the Washington football team back when they had a different name, and they had grown men dress up in drag, and they were called the Hogettes, and it was a bit. You put on a pig nose and a gross tawdry dress, and they did charity work, and they would sit in the front row, and they were the fans, these crazed fans, the Hogettes, and everyone thought they were crazy. Well, I got invited to be an honorary Hogette, so they gave me a wig and a dress and a pig nose, and I went there and I rooted hard for the team. So somewhere up in the Halloween closet upstairs, I have all of that. So I guess I should have brought down my crazed. It's like a Cher wig. You know who Cher is, right?
Yeah, it's not quite the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Eden, all right, I guess, well, there you have it. I promised you cat makeup. You got cat makeup. Give us a plug, Nan, for the Primary Players Children's Theater Group. The shows are January
13th through 15th.
in Maryville at
Yes.
the Clayton Center. You can look up the group. I'll put the website across the bottom so you can find out about tickets and information. All right, cats, crawl back in a cat-like way. See if you can find your original position. And you can crawl under the table, around the table. Just don't kick the camera. However you choose to do it. So, and if Gianna and Eoin have to switch positions, then so be it. Just let it be. Just come on, cat it up. I'll tell you that if you like fine audio entertainment, and you could have been just listening to all this, by the way, on any of the audio podcast apps, including Audible, but if audio entertainment is your thing, and you would like to try out the thousands and thousands of audiobooks and custom entertainment, use our URL. It's audibletrial.com/FrankandFriendsShow. You're supporting the show just by signing up for a free 30-day membership, and during that first 30 days, you get a download, an MP3 download credit, and you can download something, a nice, big, thick, long audiobook and keep it forever, regardless of whether you continue on with Audible. But of course, we hope that you will. So just listen to the Frank and Friends show, all the podcasts, the audiobooks. There's new ones coming out all the time. I think they've said it will take would take 300 years to listen to everything currently on Audible. So you can't do it. You just got to pick and choose and find what you want. You maybe listen to a book about theater, right? Yeah. Like while you're driving up to Long Island, you could listen to Audible and, learn more about all these things. You could probably listen to a book about boat making or whatever. But anyway, audibletrial.com/Frank and Friends show. And don't forget our merchandise. We've got the beach towels. We've got the, here, help me out with this. You can be this is beautiful. This is a soft beach towel. Isn't it nice? So we got the whole big Frank and Friends logo on there with the Smoky Mountains and the In-N-Out Burger sign and all the things. You can get yourself one of those or some drinkware like this or the nicer, newer stuff. So Kristen has texted back already. Roar. R-A-W-R. Okay. So I can't wait to have her come on the show too. My friend Avi is going to be coming in, I think, on the next episode, and then Kristen and Jeff. And I'll boast on Jeff. Jeff is a Hall of Fame radio disc jockey from San Diego, California.
Wow.
I know. I'm very excited to have him here. It's going to make me look like the amateur that I am. All right, Eden, thank you.
Thank you so
All
much.
Right, any last plugs, any last comments, any last cat things we're doing back there, everybody? Give us all the big. Do it for Kristen. Here's your line, everyone. This is the script. All right, you're all gonna on the count of 3. Eden, take us in.
1, 2, 3.
That was so much more authentic than I thought it would be. Okay, it is the Frank and Friends show. I'm Frank Murphy.
I'm Zee Carnes.
Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you again next time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How did your mom get me to agree to this?